Hey Pisces, I hope you guys are doing great. We are here to do your Mercury in retrograde reading where we take a peek at all of the energies that are surrounding you and see what you might need to be mindful of over the next few weeks while things can be a little bit wonky. So let's jump right on in and see what energies are surrounding you right now. So the first card that we have out is Full Moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. And we also have full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. So it feels like right now, Pisces, the energy that's surrounding you guys is a sense of moving forward and not sort of getting caught in the little things that might be a little bit disappointing, a little bit distracting. There's something that you're missing from like a broader perspective that you might not be able to see right now because of the little sort of day-to-day things that seem to keep popping up for you that may not necessarily be the most pleasant experiences. So it feels as though there's a sense of you needing to not necessarily ignore the little things, but not giving them so much weight. It almost feels as though when you hit these little stumbling blocks in your life, they become sort of magnified and they knock you off of your path a little bit, sort of, as you're headed towards your ultimate end goal. These little things that happen seem to be discouraging you. So there's a sense that Spirit is trying to say, you know what? Little bumps are going to happen, but keep your eye on the prize, right? Make sure that you sort of keep your end goal in mind. So with that, let's jump into some tarot and see if we can get a little bit more detail on what's going on during this Mercury retrograde for you. And so the first card that we have out for you is the Four of Cups. So what we have in store for you during Mercury retrograde is embracing, where the Four of Cups upright is usually this card of being bored, rejecting offers, not really being interested in too much. And I feel like over this time period, you're going to start embracing things more, that you're going to sort of have this sense of wonder and willingness to sort of explore the things that are around you. So it's very much an energy of opening up and seeing what's out there. We also have the Five of Cups in reverse. So this is living life without limits. This is not having any regrets, not looking back and saying, oh, I wish I'd have done this. I wish I'd have taken that chance. I just feel, Pisces, that this is you just sort of opening up to the world, letting yourself be a little bit more free, not worrying so much about the little things, and just being able to enjoy life. So what we see in terms of a possible interruption or disruption in your path going forward, we have the Chariot in reverse. So it feels as though things may be a little bit slow, and that there's this sense of waiting, not necessarily being sure how to move forward. Because again, with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, it almost feels as though the seeds that you have planted don't appear to be coming to, they don't appear to be blooming, right? It's not quite ready for your harvest. So it feels like there's a little bit of a slow period as you sort of step into this energy of embracing and trying things new. So whereas you may have been operating in a way that you didn't necessarily see the results that you were looking for in the time frame that you were looking for, understand that you have been on this path, that you have been planting the seeds. And even though things are moving a little bit slow, I do think that there's going to be a moment where you sort of release any sort of disappointment or frustration about what's been going on. And I feel, Pisces, that this is not necessarily related to a relationship, but something that you've been working on from a personal perspective, like a project, learning something new, school, career, things like that. but it almost feels as though you've been so wedded to these sort of incremental steps to get to your ultimate goal. And you may have had some setbacks. It may have been a situation where it's like, oh, wow, things are moving. Okay, things have stopped. Oh, things are moving again. Things have stopped. And there's this sort of back and forth energy where you've been so invested, and it's almost as if your emotional state has been sort of tied into the outcomes that you get from whatever it is that you've been working on, that when you do hit those little hiccups, that it's like, oh my God, it's never going to happen. Right. And so there seems to be this element of negative self-talk that you're not going to get to this ultimate goal. But it feels as though, things have been moving a little bit slowly, and that seems to be a challenge for you during this time period. Now, looking at, a shift that you're going to encounter during this retrograde, we have the Four of Wands in reverse. And that to me speaks of your sort of stability, right? That things are going to knock you a little bit off track. And we have the Ten of Swords clarifying. So not going to lie, Pisces, this seems like it's going to be a little bit of a challenging period for you. I don't necessarily feel like that's a bad thing though, because I think that this shift is going to get you into this energy where you sort of let go. And you're not so attached to these sort of small bridges to get to your sort of final goal. It's going to actually, I feel like it's going to alleviate a fair amount of stress for you, because it's like you almost sort of throw up your hands and it's like, you know what? Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'm just going to go with the flow. But it does feel like in the interim, there are going to be some disappointments that you experience, but those disappointments are going to allow you to sort of take a step back from what you've been doing, what you've been working on, and it's going to allow you to have a different mindset where you're better able, I think, to shrug things off. Now, something to be mindful of as you go forward, we have the universe in reverse, right? And then on the bottom of the deck, we also have the Six of Cups in reverse. So what this is saying to me is that Spirit is saying, there's no need to sort of look back, right? There's no need for you to look back and think about what has been, what you've encountered. I feel like that's the part of releasing negativity and not dwelling on things that have happened to you in the past, but moving forward. Now, that forward movement is going to be a little bit slow, Pisces, and we saw that up here in sort of the challenge area, that, things are, they don't feel like they're moving right now, but there are things that I feel are happening behind the scenes, and it's more meant for you to be able to let go, to not hold on so tightly to this middle part between where you started and your ultimate outcome. So we have the Chariot in reverse clarified by the King of Wands reversed. So I think that's something that you still need to be conscious of during this time period is sort of keeping your energy levels up, keeping that fire up, right? Balancing that excitement that you had for whatever this project is with a little bit of logic and sort of control over yourself and your emotions. So, don't get sucked into this whirlwind of negativity. This is not a place where you need to sort of sit, to sort of stay, even if things don't seem like they're moving forward right now. So looking at, what you'll get out of Mercury retrograde, we have the Two of Wands in reverse. And let's see if we can clarify that a little bit for you. See if we can clarify the Two of Wands in reverse. And we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. I do think that ultimately with whatever it is that you've been working on, there's a sense of you sort of, again, taking that step back, especially with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. It's not going to be you putting so much energy into what this is. And that's not saying that you're not going to continue working towards it. But I think that you are just sort of, going to become more solid. You're going to be more focused on the end goal rather than the sort of minutia that happens in between you being where you are and you getting there. We also have the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So the Knight of Pentacles, guys, is the slowest moving knight in the deck. But when they come in, what they bring with them is going to be incredibly stable. So where you might be feeling a little bit off balance right now, that you feel like you might not have the solid foundation that you need, it's coming in. But there's this sense of letting go. Not letting go of your dream, but letting go of the little disappointments and hiccups that you might experience along the way. It doesn't feel as though there are any like major blockages. It's just very much, I think, a matter of divine timing and when things start unfolding for you. So the last card that we have out is Be True to Yourself, the final message from Spirit. And I think that we saw here in the area of things that you need to be mindful of, especially with the King of Wands in reverse. This is, not you sort of adjusting how you operate or sort of adjusting your goals to do something that doesn't feel right for you just because it's an easier path or it's a path that seems to be moving a lot faster. Spirit is saying that, make sure that you keep that same energy, keep that end goal in mind. There's a reason that you embarked on this path in the first place, because it's something that excited you. It's something that you enjoy. And so Spirit is saying, don't lose that just because things don't seem as though they're moving for you right now. There's something wonderful waiting. There's something stable that's coming in, but it's going to be a matter of you sort of letting go of the small things that happen and not getting like bogged down in any sort of disappointments, or perceived setbacks on your journey. So there's a lot of energy of persistence that's here for you, Pisces. So, keep going. Make sure that you check in with yourself, meditate, stay grounded to the extent possible, and don't sweat the small stuff. So I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope that this was helpful and I hope that it resonated. If it did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. But in the meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you all huge hugs.